incredibly tense zone and less than a minute until it comes to a close. Everyone's going to have to rotate past Wolfies right here as 2 more go down and we get closer to the first placement threshold.
3 more before you hit that top 25.
He has 4 kills.
To go, 2 launch pads, even a flintlock potentially
6
as a
circle.
mobility weapon here. Wolfie's sitting on honestly a pretty solid kit.
No,
Seen the flintlock
27
one of the most
down.
used versatile weapons in Fortnite right now. I don't think there's been anything that's come close to it, to be quite honest with you. It serves so many purposes. We said before, I mean, on the cast, to make sure that people understand, it really is it's a very important loadout piece for players that know that they can be playing inside boxes.
It's lagging. You could tell.
You know, fall down from above, especially if they don't have a redeploy. They've got a weapon that can stop them if they have 2 builds and catch themselves on the low ground before they hit the bottom and take all that fall damage. Applying pressure from underneath right now. Wolfie's trying to drop in his opponent. Quick replace the floor. Wolfie's looks like it was be over there to the top left. Mongrel rotating the top right of your screen for just a moment. 2 more players need to go down before we hit the threshold. I'm thinking at some point we're going to see a rift to go here from Wolfies to reposition. Trying to bait out shots just like that. Sly Clement on the rotation does not realize Wolfies is hiding inside the box. Here we go. Pulls the rift out and pops it.
Yep, and he makes sure he's on the backside of the circle, scouts everyone else. They're not letting anybody else on a free rift, and also just going to pop his parachute and hang out because it's 26, boom, 25, so everyone getting the 3 points there. And now let's take a look at the rest of the lobby. Kingstar on the low ground has already double qualified. Stompy as well now on board with Mitro here as he gets taken out by Lord Roman. That is monstrous. Did get the 3 points for the top 25, but not going to get any more. Mix and Stompy on the low ground. Nuji's Kaizen is about to go down as all of a sudden, and now we're into the top 15. That was Mongo. I apologize for speaking there. Stompy goes down as well. So nice little spree from Wolfies all of a sudden. Up to 6 elims. You see Martaz also still in the lobby as we get closer to the top 10. Wolfies continuing to take shots here, but not finding anything right now. Player next to him does own that wall, so just going to go 1 over.
Wolfie's an excellent example of timing the shot, timing the push. Doesn't have to move out too far ahead of the circle if he doesn't want to. If you do get a little bit of that leeway, you have a chance to look back exactly as he's doing now and look for chances to take shots at players that are still on the move. Some shots from up above, that combat shotgun range, very effective. Basically the perfect range to scope in, ADS, take those shots, see if you can get full damage on it. Shot from above, third-party opportunity at the fish down below. Is he going to pick it up? And he does indeed, up to 41. 3 players left. Wolfie's at 41.7 eliminations. A big game already. Launch pad's going to kind of be useless. A jump shot around the corner. Wolfie's picks up another elim. Looking at 8 right now, and he's in a 1v1 all the way up top. The player dropping in. Spoiler. Look for any chance he can. Take an opportunity to take a shot. 25 build. Both players sitting on about the same amount of material.
42 points, 35.
Heads up 1v1 here. Yeah. Someone's going to drop in on the other. Wolfies might make a climb before too long. Does have the flint knock and the launch pad if he wanted to do it. But just baiting the timing on a shot might be the most important play right now.
One thing to note, though, spoiler, has the high ground, also has 5 bandages and the campfire. If it goes to a full close, which happens in 45 seconds, he will have the advantage. But I don't think we're going to get there. Wolfies goes up with the flint knock. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner. Gets the first shot. Now has the shield advantage, but loses the HP advantage as Spoiler puts himself back on the low ground. Spoiler in the top right. Wolfies in your bottom right. You can see the action on the wide. Here's that slight elevation.
This is so intense.
He's going to force Spoiler out. He goes out in the open. Wolfie 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Spoiler running out of builds, and Wolfie with the high ground retake from that flint knock, and he throws a tomato and the L dance at him afterwards, saying, that's my victory royale.
Both players running out of materials last second, basically forced an engagement. The height advantage, I think, in my opinion, paid off the most, especially because you had a player force out into the storm to try and go for a shot.
Which ones are these?
That flint knock play to push yourself up in the air. Such a versatile weapon. Well played there.
I feel like we've seen so much more flint knock this week in particular. I don't know if it's because of the slight adjustment to the shotgun drop rates compared to the last solo week.
20 minutes.
But players are opting and carrying it a lot later and using it not only as the mobility component, which we've seen a lot of, but a lot more aggressively. Like people pushing into boxes with flint knocks. We saw that last victory royale with it, and really enjoy seeing the different types of utility. I know you were saying how it's probably one of the most versatile weapons. I'd argue probably second only to the heavy sniper in terms of that, just because the heavy sniper literally does everything at all points in times. but I mean, just with how good these guys are with the flint, like, I can pick up a heavy sniper and get a couple elims, like, that's fine. Most of the players can because it's 150 the body, but these guys make the flint knock looks just so good.
I feel like the heavy sniper is the #1 weapon for assisting other weapons and getting eliminations. Rocket into a heavy snipe, even a double heavy sniper pushing in, take a wall, push in and shotgun. The flint knock has the movement mechanic on top of it, but it can't, it can't do things the heavy sniper can do. You can't remove a wall with it on the spot. You can't chain it into other weapons. The flint knock, though, is you catch yourself with it. Both weapons, though, are crazy.
1A, 1B. How about that? There you go.
Exactly.
But yeah, I definitely do agree with you. The heavy sniper enabling others and giving you a long range component. But Airwalk's right there.
Top awareness. Just love to see it.
Disables Amsdalo and gets everything from it, but needs to circle back and try and get that chug and pop it like now if he wants the HP to get off of that.
50 and 83, not too bad. Will still go down to a heavy snipe to the body. Got to look out for that. Looking for the quick angle change here. He might rotate out into the storm if he can flip this. If needed, the player still sitting right through that corner. You see he's checking through the brick, holding the edit on his own ramp. Closes the outside out, decides to rotate down underneath. Take the chance here to just box up a little bit, opting not to push that player. You can't really tell how much HP and shield they potentially
Hold for
have.
some water, guys. I'm back.
See what we see. Only 100, maybe 99 HP. Rose in there, but Airwalk's probably a player of this caliber could easily push in a 96.
Down, Maddie.
Follow through, like we said. There's a pickup. Airwalk's got up to 3 now, 32 points, and a ton of builds.
Make the
and he got the
beast.
shadow bomb for it, which for this longer rotation is going to be huge.
Just the one, though.
Yes, the one. Just the one, and is going to pop it early. Also notice you can see that storm surge threshold on the right side. So what storm surge is, once you get into these later circles for circles 6 and 7, if there's more than 30 people left in the lobby, if you have been the passive player, storm surge will begin to punish you. You will start taking 10 damage every second as it comes out through. Once those strikes come on down, and now it turns off since we're below the 30 player threshold. So now just all about the elims and the rotation, since we're not even at the placement threshold yet.
I just want to point out quick too, as you said, for passive players, Airwalk's definitely an example of not a passive player. He was 500, a little over 500 damage above the threshold, which is insane. And it's shots like that, 80 to the back on the fish on rotation, that kept him safe from Storm Surge. Crusher goes down. Airwalks picks up his 4th elimination. One more elim. We get to the placement points here of the top 25. Going to pick up 3 there. Get to top 15, that's 5. Top 5, that's 7. And that Victory Royale is 10. Reminding everybody, if you're just jumping into the stream, maybe you haven't heard what the format is like, always going to kind of refresh that in your memory. All the way up on high ground, looked like that might have been Skype. I'm not sure if dropped in. I'm not seeing him. I believe that was him all the way up there. Number of players, though, 25 heading into the 8th circle soon, as advised. 1 elimination, 35 points. No movement here. Bandages for late game, but that's not going to pay off right now. That is going to pay off. Carrera goes down. Another one, the follow-through finds Ghosts on the move. Looking for the 3rd. The triple gets it. Exon down. 4 eliminations now for Advise. Playing absolutely incredibly. The heads up right now. You'll love to see it.
Oh, baby, a triple. Well done right there. And that was Skype up on the high ground. You saw him now just drop back down with a number of players going up, getting closer to that 2nd placement threshold. Skype picks up Yahtzee. Mick the Beast also in this lobby. Another player who we've seen constantly in the top 5, desperately trying to get a solo spot. Because, again, this is the last week. Casrola does get ticked over by that storm change. Again, 60 seconds if you damage someone. Random siphon coming through, and we're into the top 15 now with Airwalks on the mid-tarp and looking for more targets.
Imagine a situation you get a tag on someone and 50 seconds later they get eliminated by the storm. You get that siphon at just the right moment. Could be so clutch. The timing could be so important on that. 11 players left, 10 now as Sky goes down to the feed. Swaggy picks one off. 6 eliminations for Airwalks. Push through this wall, find a player on the rotation from behind. Back-to-back shots, takeoffs, gets eliminated. Airwalks picks up another one.
He's doing so well at finding people on the edge of the storm, getting next to him, and then just dipping out for a second. But the one thing you notice, he never dips out into the storm for longer than enough to take more than 1 tick. It does take a second to go through, and Majestic actually just picked up a triple of his own because of those storm changes. 1 player he elimed, 2 got ticked over from the storm. That should be the player potentially up on the high ground, but now we have our top 5 Airwalks. 2 builds left, is running with that campfire now, but is sitting on 7 Elims. Advise all the way up on the high ground. Majestic is on the low ground with Mick the Beast. Airwalks in the bottom right-hand corner, gets traded out by Mick the Beast. Zadek drops down in the shadow form. He's not jumping around, so the player doesn't know where he is. 80 to the body. Can he find it? Pushes through with the combat. Says, I don't need a pickaxe. I'll just take your wall anyway. Brilliantly done there, but now can he win the 1v1 from the low ground? Player is 1 box directly above him. He hears it. You see the fake ramps out. He goes up, edit off the side, takes the high ground, drops down on top of 1, 2, 3. He gets it.
Literally waiting till the last second. The fake out on the ramp with just, I think he had 1 build left at the last second. So he was literally almost the most efficient he could possibly be with all the materials that he had left.
That looks like some creative shit right there, or playground.
Excellent high ground take, excellent push with the combat shotgun, and the victory Royale. You love to see it.
Well done there from Zadek now. You see Marcotte and Fool right on the edge of the zone. An intense little 1v1 right now. Trap does go down defensively. Fool saying, I'm having absolutely none of that. You can see he wants to try and get the materials that are there. Trap does get broken on the other side by Marcotte. And now you get a nice little box fight. So this is one of the things, if you want to learn how to get good at competitive Fortnite, learn to fight from a box. Blows the whistle, says it's time to go.
Look at the whistle to signal the push. Honestly, oh, that's very funny. Push in there. Fool gets 2 taps there. The shotgun follows through a 92 crit. Gets in the elimination, double back, pick up the rest of that wood, anything that he can top off with. Oh, shots coming in from the sides. Gonna have to wall himself off, double air, and Ops, instead of popping the minis, to shadow bomb, just because I think the fear of positioning there and exposure, maybe adding a little too much attention. Did take 1 more tap on the move. Gonna have a chance to heal up. Meanwhile, the top of this hill, thick with players, where they stacked up trying to make rotation here. 41. Well, actually, they're from the stream. Trick Pog rotating forward.
Crew also in the match was second last time we saw him there. We got a number of dual qualifiers over on the side there. Players looking to get their solo spot. You see Kuma using the stink to try and force the player forward and then editing out. Boom, there goes the second one, knowing they can't stack in volume. And Quadra, that one smells. Go get yourself a gas mask. Try and queue back up.
You're sitting on 3 Elims now, holding the edit. Just going to try and peek on through, deciding to apply a little more pressure. Oh my gosh, the back-to-back. The stink bombs, very lethal, especially at this point in the game. You have to realize these players understand if there's people that were caught rotating, got tagged up significantly, and didn't have the ability to heal, as will be the case quite often in games like this, where you have so many people in such a tight space. There's a good chance that people that are boxed up in front of you are potentially missing HP, maybe some fall damage, maybe they got hit by multiple people on rotation. They could have been, I mean, we even saw a Shadow Bomb player get shot just moments before that, and we're about 50 HP. That is a good opportunity to just chuck the stink in there, maybe do an HP check, see if they're low, and in this case, it pays off. 2 eliminations with basically no effort. And as you said before, we're looking to get the player count down to 30 before that storm surge goes away. We're sitting at 38 above for Dave. 32 players left, so 2 more need to go down.
Oop, boxes the baller in. The baller is going to just boost right on out. Says, I want nothing to do with that. Now you can see on the side, Dave getting another tag there. You see that threshold number also going up. Needs to be conscious. He left that edit open, but the player, because his back is to the storm, isn't going to have time to take shots towards him. So well played from Dave. Other player pushes it, and Tripburn from Singularity kind of caught a little bit there. Seemed like he was going for an aggro play.
I think potentially he expected Dave to not look back, because the catch, good grab there. Tripburn, I feel like was thinking, okay, Dave's not looking at me. I'm just going to step out. I have the angle. I'm going to take the shots from this side, and ended up kind of getting clapped very quickly. Dave's reaction, rotation down there. I'm not sure how to say that name. I'm just going to put that out. It looks like a sneeze. I apologize.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to attempt on that, but we're in the top 25. Let's pay attention to the rotations. As you see, a number of players playing billiards there on the low ground. Crew up on the high ground. You have WGS Jag, the player from South Korea, playing over in Europe right now. This is the most ballers I've seen in the lobby in forever.
The most ballers I've seen in the game easily this weekend.
I mean, I don't think we saw this many ballers in Europe when they were at 300 health. Europe has an affinity or like a particular hatred towards ballers rolling around.
We've made comments in the past about how they always seem to be fans of taking shots at players that are in ballers on the move when they have an opportunity to. Maybe a follow through here, the back-to-back. Can't quite find it. But yeah, look at how many are left out on the field. This is a very rare sight for European qualifiers.
I mean, and it kind of compounds on top of itself, because the more players who are in ballers, they aren't going to take shots at each other. And if you're not going to waste shots on baller players, you're not going to eliminate them. So, but once the explodes start coming out, that's when things get dicey, because the RPGs can damage through the ballers, and with the 150 HP, one AR round into them, and then followed by an RPG to be a ton of damage. But now Pill is just going to go to work, ignore the ballers on the low ground, running around like they're a game of marbles, and he finds Trockley, and he finds Elocrats right after.
13 players left.
Damn.
Still in the rotation here, taking a chance to pop a mini. Does have the campfire, may or may not put it down. Not at this point. The storm's too close to his back. He's going to have to push forward. Like you said, multiple ballers are still in play, and with players not jumping out and not having pressure applied to them, you
17
are
HP.
way less than 11 people.
Damn.
The player count remaining, that's not the number that are actually forced to engage each other right now. The people in ballers are almost being ignored. The heavy snipe from behind, and Mav Joe picks up and Elam the push inside. He realizes him. Look at how many people are around in the same box.
And then said everybody goes up to the sky. No Elam coming out there. So all of a sudden, 3 up, 7 down. Telezeto on the ultimate high ground. Wesley Nutt and Blackso on the low ground. Jag ADX also on the mid tarp. Telezeto looking for shots. Has redeploy and the flint knock. Not going to find any. So ultimate high is going to be in his control. 10 players left, but he gets challenged.
One more all the way in the high ground. Just barely lost it. The flint knock flying up above. What a play. Takes the high ground back. Has ultimate high, looking down from above, only 29 builds. Has the redeploy to catch himself if he has to jump off, if he runs out of materials, but we'll see here in a second.
Somebody else just went up.
Yep, you heard it. There it is, the fish flying past. Telezeto might take a shot. The flint knock kind of gets stuck in his own box for a second. This ADX dropping in Mexi from Loot Boy. In the middle of your screen there, Telezeto still has the high ground, drops down to the next tarp. Mexi building out, trying to stay in the safe zone. This is the most players we've seen in a zone this tight in a long time. The Rift.
That's one. Is one player up in the rift. So you have one player up in the sky. Telezeto on ultimate high ground. Power, Psyches, and Blackso down the low. You have Telezeto in your top right. Power in your bottom right. Telezeto looking for it, and he finds Mexi out of the sky, and he gets the Cypher. Now he's dropping down with the redeploy, looking for Psychic on the campfire, and he finds it, gets the Siphon, and it's enough to put him over the top for the victory royale. Telezeto, you are mad indeed. The 2 Elims being the swing, 12 points there. Well done, sir.
The transition of the shot with the flint knock midair into an immediate descend, the redeploy to catch himself, and then the swap to the TAC AR. There was sitting on top of both campfires. 200 IQ.
That was really well played from Telezeto. That's probably some of the best overall flint knock usage we've seen. We took high ground, I think, twice.
You did.
Going there, and then additionally picked up a sick Elim on the player out of the air with that heavy shot, and then dropped down. I mean, just well done.
Literally, you were saying he was unchallenged for high ground, immediately got challenged, and then used the flint knock on a single build out to take it back and force the player to drop. Well played. Well played indeed. What a loadout for the late game, too. Anyway, 43 players left. Next game, Europe.
42 players left.
42 players remaining. I just shouldn't say it sometimes. Looking for 41 players remaining here in a second. Someone trying to pick up another one. That was the first elimination for this player this game. By the way, quick reminder, 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. If you would like to queue in, you're in the European region, now's the time to do it. Those last couple in. This is the last week for solos to qualify to punch that ticket to New York City. Don't forget it.
And after that, there's no more solo spots. 8 more players will be advancing from Europe. We'll have 6 from NA East, 2 from NA West, and 1 coming out of Brazil. And then the solos competition will be completely rounded out. These are the final moments. Again, don't forget, we will go a little bit longer than the queue times because the average game of full Fortnite is about 26 minutes long. So you need to let everyone finish up, get all of those results tallied in, because every single time it's going to come down to the last match of the server, those top point lobbies. And right now, Motor is trying to make a case to get into one of those lobbies as he's sitting in this cone looking for a peek. 42 players remaining, so again, everyone playing
I forgot how to play that. Don't you have to like shoot it or something?
Accidentally stepped in front of the heavy sniper bullet. Now you can see that storm surge turning on right there. Motor more than fine, 502 above. Might regret popping that shadow zone since had a community launchpad placed right next to him, but he's...
Oh, I don't think he regrets it anymore. Honestly, Sundown, I think he's pretty happy about how that turned out. What a shot on rotation, a quick 180 in the combat to the dome, picks up an elim. Sundown's mouth is literally sitting open. You can't believe what he saw. That was ridiculous.
But one thing that players might not be aware of, he bunny hopped right there to get maximum distance. So what that is spamming your jump button right as you hit the ground to get a little bit of extra horizontal distance, and it carried him past the player. So he 180 and one hit him with the combat. That's what I talk about when, like, sometimes I feel like these guys are playing a different game than I am.
Oh,
yes, I know for a fact I can do all of those things.
That's not Fortnite. I don't know what that is. That's not Fortnite. That's some craziness.
It's nuts. These guys pushing the envelope, but Mongrel, speaking of pushing the envelope, not going to pull a Mitro on the dual partner there, opens the door, gets over onto the side, and is desperately looking for every point he can. Doesn't want any interaction if he can avoid it. Will he find it? 2 HP? And he does! Motor gets taken down. 26 players remaining. Mongrel, that could have been your moment in the box. 2 HP. Erosi gets Aki. That's 2 more points going over for him. That could be huge. That could be it. And now Mongrel on the side of the zone, back up to 75 HP. What can he do with it? Will the siphon in the mats be enough? 70 materials on the side of the zone. 24 players left. Less than 5 minutes left in the queue times. If you want to go to New York City, you show up right now. And unfortunately, Mongrel is out. Let's see if he can get another queue as the rest of the match is now running. Provoked up on the high ground. You see Stompy, Martez also hanging out. Martez trying to take the high ground away, but SV Alman is up there as we hit the second placement threshold. Top 15 now.
Stompy picking up another elimination in the feed. Provoked at 3 eliminations from Fnatic here. Stompy picking up actually another one. Stompy absolutely owning the feed. Provoked trying to box up, stay alive, very edge of the zone. Takes the chance, an opportunity to pop that slurp and get a little bit of a tick. Moves forward, trying to top off the HP. Players fighting underneath him, looking for a chance to establish a base of operations on the move here. And it's going to be difficult. Does get the mini off, though. Looking for players from behind. Very common tactic here. You get into a safe area where even if it might be 3-4 meters, catches someone in the face with that combat shotgun. You look for any chance for a quick whip back, anybody moving in from the outside of the storm, because they're the ones that they're forced to move in. You can't sit out there. And so even if you have 3, 4, 5 feet ahead of them, you can look back and get a shot off and pick up an elimination. 40 seconds left on that European queue. Get in those games if you're going to try and get the last ones in. Quick edit, a peek through. Cubex gets tapped one time, very low. Now you have to remember there's a 60-second window after that damage where if storm damage maybe claims that player gets an elimination, it's going to count for provoked. Dropping in here, 8 players left. Quick swap, shot, back to back, and MQ goes down. Look for another. Players underneath on rotation. Quick headed down to push in, finds another on the outside. One more, looks for another, gets it. Stompy gets another. 3 eliminations, the triple in the feed, and there's 3 players left. Provoke on the ultimate low ground right now. 1 mini pop, moves all the way to the edge, pops.
First
campfire down.
He's getting pressure from both sides now, and this is the top 3. Can't find the shot. It's AIM Cubex who gets it. That's 52 points for Provoked. And again, each one of these elims, each one of them matters more when you're in these high points lobby. Martaz on the high ground, Cubex on the low ground, 39 to 49 points. Martaz wants to close this out. 27 builds to the 0 of Cubex, and that's going to be it. Martaz closes that one out. 43 points so far. Queue times are closed. The last matches will be coming in, but for now, we're going to throw it back on over to Courage, who's in the studio.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, that is it for the queues out in Europe. You see how dramatic it can be in these final moments. We still have more games to bring you. We want to make sure you get caught up to speed on those exact last matches, but I know, Zeke, we've had some things you were taking a look at that you want to show everyone at home?
Yeah, man, let's do this. We've got some cool clips as we make our way into the station. Just some really fun clips that I wanted to take a moment to talk about. Wolfsies, of course, just had a dope flick shot. Look at that, over on Violin, and just absolutely incredible. This is the level of skill. And I just want to highlight his rifling skills and just the way he approaches this fight. He knows the players down below, no builds, and you can just see he's using that brick floor, just ducking behind, making sure it's absorbing as much damage as possible. Airwalks. This is someone for me that I truly believe, and I want to see go to the World Cup Finals, especially with the last opportunity. Him and his dual partner, Nikov, have already qualified in duos, right? We even know his other teammates, Kinsar and Hunter, have also qualified. The difference is that Kinsar right now is the only member from Florida that's qualified for the solo format, and Airwalks is looking to do the same. We're going to watch this incredible spree. Just look at the way he's navigating all this density, right? His game sense and his awareness is on point. He's going to pick up 8 elimination total in this run. Now, unfortunately, he does not end up getting the Victory Royale, but just look at this. He's unbelievable. Once he gets going, it's very difficult for him, for anyone to stop him. Now, we're going to see his untimely demise here. He is going to go and try and challenge a player. He's going to pick them off, and he does get traded back out. Now, keep in mind, though, he did make top 5, so he still got the points from that. Now, Tolecito, we saw this incredible play. I thought this was incredible because he used the flint knock to shut down Mexi up on the high ground. And then just look at the HP from everyone else. He has HP advantage. He's so confident. He's just going to dive down and try and go for the challenge. Even if the player had traded out, he would have been in a pretty good state either way. So it was a pretty good game for these players. I mean, it's finals day. You know everyone's showing up big, making plays.
Insane right there. To have the confidence to drop on down, ready to play. But guys, I'm not going to hold this up. We've got our final games from the European region. Who will make it to the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Let's find out.
Thank you so much, Courage. Also, just want to give a shout out real quick to the guy running the AR wall. Whoever picked the screen that was right there, the way the 2 lines lined up with the black floor.
That was actually
it looked,
cool.
I was sitting here and I'm like, all right, that's a cool shot. So, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We give a bunch of love to the observers. Give him some love right there. Great screen. But now we're on board. Again, these are the absolute final matches. Queue times are done. We are in Europe. 8 spots up for grabs for the Fortnite World Cup final. This is your last opportunity. If you are one of the best, you need to prove it right now, or you will not be on that stage. You won't be playing with Tfue, with X2 Jordan, with Stompy, and 6J trying to make a case for being there as he picks up Zegrin and then gets on his rotation.
Absolutely ridiculous. Between games there, while everybody was watching the quick replay analysis, Sundown and I were talking about the different regions and just how certain aspects of each region stand out, and I think it's unanimous agreement that Europe has some of the best technical Fortnite and some of the most aggressive play that I think we've ever seen, and it is so much fun to talk about and so much fun to watch because these players are playing on a level that I don't think you have to imagine back in the day when Fortnite was, it was the battle royale portion was in its, early days. No one imagined the game would get to this. You can't possibly have said, oh yeah, one day we're going to watch players, the technical skill and building and quickly editing and dropping in through floors and pushing walls and doing all these things, everything that they do. No one would have imagined it was going to come to this, the quick edits and push through Kais and picking up the first Elam. It's things like this. You could not have told me this is what Fortnite was going to evolve into. And you have to admit, whether you love or hate the game, no matter what you think about it, how things have changed and grown is fantastic to see. People are really pushing the technical skill that I think Fortnite has to offer in a way that no one could have predicted.
I mean, it's actually absurd to me, and like I said, I've been able to be a part of the process from playtesting through all of this.
You've been around since the beginning.
Yeah, I've never would have fathomed that players were doing this. I think one of the first things when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's good because you can be aggressive because you can like build at someone in your own cover. You don't just like hide behind a wall and stuff. And now it turns into, instead, these guys are building literal tunnels and mansions and skyscrapers in the span of 2 seconds. I think one of the plays we saw yesterday with the player, one by one, threw a trap down, edited a ramp, and shot all in the span of 0.2 seconds. So I'm like, all right, you're playing a different game than me. Yeah, right there. Sky taking away Yarkos' ceiling with a single shot, double replaces it, double edits down, and then pushes in the space of nearly a half second. He gets it I was about to say 57, but 60 points now as the top 15 does
literally just
take over. The player gets taken down, and Skype is creeping up into that qualification range. Again, top 8 players will go, and this is the last shot. How they earn the points: top 25 is 3, top 15 is 5, top 5 is 7, the Victory Royale is 10. Each elim is 1, and Skype certainly knows that. He's been playing absurdly aggro. If he hits you, he wants to go.
You saw for just a second in there a quick attempt at maybe a heavy sniper shot, but he realized it wasn't loaded, opted back to try and push through the ramp instead. Very quick thinking on Skype's part, the swap out for the combat shotgun instead of the tac. Pretty common there, player looting inside, but Skype more focused on rotation and position, as placement points will be everything for a player that is this close to making it to New York City.
That was so good by him to go around the backside of that building so he could extend the shadow bomb timer up to now get up to the mid tarp. You have Light up on the high ground, 13 up Nay, now just dropping down on the tarp below Skype. So Skype is on secondary high, but he's boxed up right now. Light's going to begin to work top down, as we still have a number of ballers who are going to begin to get shot out as we head towards the second placement threshold. Kinzo gets taken down there, and Light continues to rain shots down onto these ballers, saying, hey, you got to play Fortnite with the rest of us. Burn your math, get out of there. Top 15 is on the board. John22 on Twitch picks up Calzo. Uno OG goes down, and Light continues to check his top, make sure he's safe, and then rain shots down. Dalo gets taken out as we get closer and closer to the top 10.
12 players remaining. Light still ultimate high ground. Skype right underneath, and I believe I saw for a moment Benji Fishy was in this game, but it looks like he's been eliminated at this point. Kaizen on the ultimate low ground, going to have to take an opportunity to heal up if possible. 9 players left, and Light is looking for a peak shot on a player in rotation, trying to challenge potentially the high ground. The pyramid of the play underneath kind of signals to me maybe not pushing up just yet, and I think Light realizes that, taking a chance to look down at maybe other players in the move, and yeah, he sees another one. There's a scent of potentially elimination. Light getting challenged for high ground now.
It's Rapti. Rapti's going for it and then drops back down, realizing he's not going to be able to take it. Pops the shadow form and goes all the way down to the far side. We're nearing the top 5. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, look at the points next to the names. 56 on Light, 64 on Skype. This is for a trip to New York City, as Light is able to pick up 59 there. They want everything they can. 6 Shades gets Rapti, but Skype trades it right back out and loops back into the zone. Skype on the edge of the mountain tries to find the jump pad, and he gets it going to the sky. Light trades out Miles on the top, so now 60 to 67 points, but Skype on 55 HP. Light pops the shadow bomb. What's he gonna do? Opts to drop down, so now Skype has to know he's down there. Skype has no mobility. Storm ticks it over. Light gets the elim credit as well, and that's gonna push him up to 64 as well, so evens it up. We're getting down to the final moment.
Depending on where this was in their games played, we're looking at 64 and 67 players for Light and Skype respectively. That potentially could have been a prevention for Skype to make it to New York City, or pushing Light all the way close enough to qualify if he has a game left. People have to realize these end games, when you see players at those point counts fighting it out for the Victory Royale, it can mean the difference. We saw it, I think, last week in NA East, a team just literally fighting the last second, the very last match, and the fact that one team took the win is what put them in the placement to make it to New York City.
It was week 6 duos, and it was RBK versus the Cooler Boys. The Cooler Boys ended up winning the 2v2 from the low ground, got the Victory Royale, and the 3-point difference from the Victory Royale, not even the elims, was enough to deny the RBK Boys the spot. So when we talk about high impact eliminations, high impact engagements, and everyone mattering, when the queues are closed, these are the last matches on the server, so not exactly live, but about 5 to 10 minutes delayed, you are deciding your trips. You're deciding other people's fates, and these are the moments when you need to clutch up. We've talked about before, you don't have to be the best, but you need to be better than the person across from you. And when you're dealing with the best of the best in a trip to New York City, that's still got to be really good.
Yeah. And that's why I'm here behind the desk and not at the game.
I mean, I'm so glad these guys are so good. They make our job so incredibly easy.
And like, so much fun.
If the gameplay was really difficult, it'd be hard, but it's so hype. You guys are so good. Just shout out again one time, #Fortnite World Cup, to all of the players who have competed in the arena, in the tournaments, on Saturday, on Sunday. Thank you so much for doing this and making incredible plays and giving us this opportunity.
I do want to say too that one of the most common, I think, criticisms of competitive Fortnite is typically Oh, the shot's through. Kills only's almost finding that elim. Gets one big hit. Can't quite find the second. Exotics does pick that elim up. I was going to say, one of the most common criticisms of competitive Fortnite is, oh, everybody's sitting in 1x1s, not doing anything. You know, it's kind of slow play from time to time. I want them to pull this stream up and watch through these European games. Let us get to NA East and NA West and just how much pressure they apply at times. We literally just saw a player run out, push through a box with a heavy snipe, and push inside and get an elimination, feeding into like window edits and shots through there with a combat shotgun. Competitive Fortnite, there's tension, there's action, there's pressure applied from every angle sometimes. You really have to dig in and watch long durations of this to see all the craziness that happens, because people are elevating the gameplay every time we watch it.
There's so many nuances, and I think the best part for me is every single day there's something new somebody is doing to push the envelope.
Yep.
There's always something somebody finds that is able to do. In every patch that comes out, somebody finds a new combination, or there's something that's slightly better. As Excite has now picked up 6 elims in this match. We've seen 3 of them. We've now seen 4 of them going to work with the legendary AR and the shadow bombs on the rotation, getting himself over to the sides of zones and then posting up and taking shots. You can notice, again, one thing, when you box up on an opponent's material, go over and up a grid space. You never want to be on the same level or one wall away from somebody else. Make them break 2 walls every single time, always.
You're asking to get pushed quickly if you land side by side, especially if you're about to force a fight for a wall. Excite looking for shots here on players in the rotation. A little bit ahead inside the circle. A rocket coming in a quick close. The close off the edit. Good reset there. He's going to catch it before it blows him up. Looking back behind. Player rotating the outside. He sees the silhouette. Watching for the shot. Takes it. Gets it. Voxy goes down up to 198 total HP and 8 eliminations. We'll get a top 15 here in one more player needs to go down. Excite the forefront of the storm now. Waiting his time. Trying to wait for that shadow bomb to tick out so we can box up.
This is an incredible game so far from Excite. With that pushing over, he's on a 13-point match right now. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Artur up on the high ground. You have Miko, Lars, Valboom, Motor, and Zyfler all on the mid-tarp. Rest of the players on the low ground. You see Noodle Kongan just get ticked over from the storm there. Motor going to begin to work top down, sitting on 41 points. Gets the headshot, knows there's white damage there. Player in the box, sees him get eliminated, but he wants to continue moving forward. That was Maxa and Excite, who both just got picked up, and Motor is completely out of builds with no elims. He has to find something or has to find a way to drop down. Luckily, a player building on the tarp beneath sees the shadow bomb drop, and he's going to use the pine tree to not take fall damage. Find Go-Go's on the side, and also gets all of his mats and a med kit on 80 HP. That could be huge. You have the ability with the campfire, but he's dealing with such limited ammunition in terms of the small rounds. Wallboom goes down to Artur, and we get closer and closer to the final placement threshold before the victory royale. Motor opts to pop the campfire early. If he goes to full 100, this could end up being detrimental to him trying to medkit if we go to full heal. However, don't think that's going to happen with 90 seconds left. Antaret gets Miko, and we're into the top 5.
44 points right now for Motor. Pressure from above. Gonna have to box up and wait. See if anybody can make the move. Like you said, a big material pickup just moments ago for Motor, but not enough ammunition to make a difference. Artur on the ultimate high drops down and reconnects quickly. Very important move there. You see he places a couple services and builds his way back up. Quick shotty shot. Anthrax trying to apply pressure. Player drops in, shots on the outside, gets Lars. Gonna have to rotate into the zone quickly as that storm is ticking for 10. 3 players left and pressure from underneath. Anthrax sitting on 2 builds, 15 bandages, but it's not gonna be enough to keep himself safe unless he picks up this elim, maybe some materials. 2 big hits, can't quite find the elimination. Gonna try and get ahead of the build. Shot from above. Pressure from the third party, and Motor picks up that elimination. A 1v1 heads-up situation. Motor at a huge disadvantage in the storm, ticking slowly, and Artur sitting on enough builds maybe to apply pressure. Down to 10 now, the drop in, and finds the elimination. Only 2, but it still gets the job done. A 12-point victory royale pushes Artur to 42 points thus far.
And again, don't forget, with the prize pool being doubled this week, even if you don't get one of those qualification spots there, the money is doubled in every single one of the placements. So each one of those interactions could be the difference in a little bit of a bigger paycheck. But now we're swinging right on board over towards one of the snowy biome areas in Happy Hamlet. 38 players in this match.
I think Happy Hamlet's worthless.
In what's it like? As in you don't like the drop spot,
No,
or
terrible.
as in like the town like shouldn't have ever been developed?
I think that they have outdated laws about leashing your dogs, and I also think that the loot positioning is poor. I do not like Happy Hamlet. If you agree with me, hashtag Fortnite World Cup.
All right, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What is your favorite solo drop spot? I know Lupo's is a not Happy Hamlet, so what's your favorite solo spot? What's your current solo drop spot?
My go-to typically is going to be, okay, so there's a little pirate camp in the southwest of Pressure Plant that before the volcano went off, that's where I was consistently dropping. Recently, though, because of the changes, I really like Valhalla. I like the dance club. If I'm dropping solos and I'm not going for, like, because there's a different play style.
Competitive, super serious, ultra World Cup qualifier, where are you dropping solos?
I'll go Valhalla, and if that's contested, I'll fly past the Snobby.
Okay, cool.
I like that west side of the map, typically because it is not often challenged. You have so many opportunities for rotation. The only problem is, like, you have the rocket base that now is kind of decayed a little bit to the northeast of Snobby. You have Valhalla that's up there. That you have a lot of places where there's going to be people that can see down from above. But I mean, you also have a quad in there. You can quad fly your way back over the Neo Tilted. What a back-to-back! That was 2 shots sequentially.
62 on the first guy for the body shot, finds the second player rotating and hits him with the headshot. We talk about the flintlock efficiency in the right hand. Scoggin, the right hand's there, just wow, you talk about the pirate camp right there, going to work with the flintlock. I'm a big fan of that west side of the map too. I know the little kind of broken house between Viking Village and where Polar was, that's down there, has 3 chest spawns and you can rotate away. There's mushrooms there. That's one of my drop spots.
Ice too. You can feed into Greasy if you want to. There's a lot of chances to move over there. I think the west side of the map right now is one of the best for solos.
I'm just upset. I lost the covered bridge down south in between Lucky down there. Has 2 spawns on itself, and then the pirate cannon that used to be there had 2 spawns, and then the house had a spawn. So there's 5 spawns that were all in the one spot, and then you move right into old factories. It was really good, but lost that one unfortunately. Now on board here with Styler. CSC sitting on 42 points. You can see him trying to edit down the rest of the lobby.
Not sure about that shadow bomb.
He popped the shadow bomb like he was going to rotate. He saw the supply crate and then like.
I think he thought about it for a second and said, you know what, I already used the shadow bomb. I don't want to make this, I don't want to feel like this goes to waste, so I'm just going to, instead, I'm going to push for rotation.
But you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there, that supply drop just goes completely to waste. There was no one there. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Martaz, Crippa, Waldo, Kisanth, Orc H, Fool, Bayonne, Mods, Blazin, so many players. Mexi over there in a baller rolling around. Talazito in there and still above storm damage. So if you are rolling around in the ball, you will be getting the ticks going there. Have to play aggression, have to play aggressive going through to turn that off or just tag somebody.
Knox in the feed a second ago, I believe, being eliminated by the storm. Looks like that threshold did get to him, down to 31 players. Need 1 more to go down before Storm Surge is no longer a factor. 94 above right now for Styler, taking quick peeks, maybe thinking I need to get a hit on somebody before it's too late. I'd say back-to-back hits is pretty good there. Picking up an Elim, pushing it to 30 remaining. 1 through the wall to the right. Quick shot, misses twice, but finds a third. Tart goes down, picking up the second Elim so far for Styler. 29 players left. We're 4 away from placement points. And this is so many people trying to rotate simultaneously through not even the ultimate low ground, but just kind of the mid is just full of people. Every single layer is a fresh tarp, and you have tons of new builds and a lot of metal coming up.
A lot of metal going through it, and you got to work through the old builds as Brism gets taken down and misses out on the placement point. So now on board here with Haibuzin as he makes his rotation. Mexi out of the baller, picks up Savid. Ghosty gets taken down as well as Haibuzin. And it's down, gets the shot.
Baby,
From the fall damage, I think?
No, I think that player that he shot actually survived. There was a storm.
Oh, it was the other player who went through. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Understood.
They were picking up an elimination in the fall.
Brian, I was watching
What were you watching?
the World Cup, dog.
I won dog of the World Cup.
Look, you didn't even qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get rid of this marshmallow pickaxe? It gets so annoying.
Marshmallows?
The marshmallow pickaxe.
You don't like it?
No.
You know what I like?
What?
You, dog.
Okay. Nigga, I'm live, you know it, right? I'm live.
You lie?
I'm live, dog.
No, you're not.
It says something about party or blah blah.
You're dead now, dog. Lately. The game is a
It's 44 days, and I'm tier 44. I'll make it to tier 88 in 44 days if I tier up one time. Every day. Party failed to connect. I can't keep up, I don't know why. It says Team Rumble's limited time only, but it hasn't even left.
What the fuck? Alright, join me, okay?
Oh, but no, not creative.
What the fuck?
What happened?
You don't want to see your viewers getting you smacked, dog?
I just don't like creative anymore. My link got trolled. I forgot to turn off permits for everyone.
Really?
Yeah. Fuck my phone then. Ready up.
This is us. I'm ready to. Ooh, closing, motherfucker.
Alright, I'm gonna go for my charger real quick.
Alright.
Wait, does it say party failed to connect?
Oh yeah. The fuck?
Wait up.
Did you do that, dog?
Wait, select game mode. Brian. So it's it works. Connecting to matchmaking services.
Hello.
What?
What Would you suck a dick if your mom was in order to save your mom's life?
Wait, what? Restart your application. It's not gonna work. I'm about to restart. Wait, no, that's what fighting.
Or arena.
Connected to matchmaking services. Wait up. I'm gonna start my application.
Does it? Do you see that? Oh, you can play. Oh,
You can play what?
start videos. I'm playing this pizza, and you have to kill the burgers.
Nigga, that's like to watch it, dumbass.
No, nigga.
Yeah, watch. Video stream is loading.
I know.
Dumbass, I'm actually gonna play it.
Nigga, this is sick.
Ah, fuck, I scored 1,000.
Mine's 6,000, dog. 6,500, let's go.
Peely, Jonesy, player 1. Oh, this is the arcade game they played in the bunker.
What?
Are you fighting against the big burger, or did you already kill it?
Yeah, I already killed it, but I'm fighting another one.
How do you kill this nigga?
Move a lot.
There. 14,000. How did I go down? I was at 14,000. I'm at 9,000. You?
I'm at 14,000.
You're at 14,000?
Yeah.
I'm at 10,000.
Damn, you went over fast. I'd be goated, bro. No burger passing over here, bro. Swung in the packet. Oh.
Fuck. He killed me. Big burger.
How many points did he have?
Fuck. I have 11.
Huh?
Fuck. This burger keeps killing me. Ah! Bitch.
I beat that nigga again. I beat 3 burgers, dog. Come on. The fucking easy then. See if I know the diamond.
Bitch.
Get out.
Alright, let's try it now.
Come, brothers, let us here. Let me die.
You never die.
Alright, let me just die.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
The high score is 92,000. I could beat that shit. It's just something went wrong. Oh.
Something went wrong on the wall.
That shit fucked me up, dog.
I'm up to restart application.
Alright, me too.
I'll start streaming again.